Hey guys, it's Dr. Roberts from Nashville Neck and Back, and today we are finally going to discuss one of the most requested things in the comments, and that is the Y-Strap. Is this thing legit? Is it a scam? Let's find out. So first things first, what exactly is the Y-Strap? Well, as you can see, it's this device right here. We've got this little loop part that wraps around the back of the patient's head and neck. And then you've got the handle part right here that the doctor holds onto. So this has become very popular on social media and YouTube over the past few years. There have been several designs very similar to this, but this Y-Strap version is the one that's just exploded lately. Now, what this does is this allows the doctor to perform an adjustment along the Y-axis. Now, what does that mean? That means as you're looking down the patient's spine, from top to bottom, that's the Y-axis, and it's basically like a decompression motion or treatment. Now, it's not the exact same as doing spinal decompression, which is using a machine, but it's very similar. Now, not all doctors that perform a Y-axis or distraction type of adjustment of the cervical spine use the Y-Strap or any device like it. You can actually do it with your hands. Now, there is some limitations to that, as you're just going to be able to use your hands, and your grip strength and your arm strength and your speed is going to play into how effective the adjustment is. That's why the Y-Strap actually is very beneficial for chiropractors that may be smaller in stature, smaller in size. Maybe they don't have a ton of grip strength. Maybe they don't have a ton of arm strength in order to perform that type of adjustment, especially on your larger patients that require some extra force. What this Y-Strap does is it gives those doctors a mechanical advantage. So that's why the Y-Strap can be beneficial for a smaller or weaker or slower chiropractor. My biggest concern with this contraption, when you see some of these videos on YouTube, are these docs that are pretty good size, seem to be, have decent strength, and they're getting the mechanical advantage with the Y-Strap. It just concerns me that you could use too much force and you could possibly hurt a patient or cause a sprain strain. Now, with these docs that have been doing this Y-Strap for years, I'm sure they've mastered their craft. They know how hard they need to pull. And that's another thing too, comparing this to just using the manual adjustment with your hands, I feel like you would have a better feel for how much strength to use versus the Y-Strap. But again, if you've been using it for years, you would develop that skill. Now, compared using the Y-Strap to one of our spinal decompression machines, there's no comparison, because with the machine, you can set the exact poundage, max and min, as well as the time in the program. And that's going to be exact. You're going to be able to duplicate that from treatment to treatment, where there's going to be a little bit more variation with the Y-Strap. All right, so let's get into the reason that most of y'all clicked on this video. Is this thing legit, or is it just a YouTube scam? I was leaning more on the skeptical side, and I thought it was just kind of a gimmick. I thought it looked good on YouTube. It looked crazy. You had the wow factor. You were ripping patients halfway off the table, and they were flying and screaming and crying and cussing, and it was good YouTube. It was good video. It was good content, and it got the clicks. But out of curiosity, I decided to invest in one and give it a try. And I have been slowly introducing the Y-Strap to certain patients over the past few weeks, and with that, been using very, very light, minimal force. I would say 15 to 20% of the amount of force that I could pull is what I'm using. I am not going anywhere near as hard as what you see on YouTube. I'm not judging those other doctors. They've been doing it for years. They know what they're doing. I'm just not at a place where I feel comfortable doing that yet. But is it legit, or is it a YouTube scam? I will say this, guys. This thing's pretty fantastic. I'll be the first one to admit that I was wrong. I'll be the first one to admit that I just kind of had written this thing off as a gimmick, and it was just for, clicks and content and all that garbage. Every patient that I've used the Y-Strap on so far has absolutely loved it. And one in particular is going to be a video coming up pretty soon. This Y-Strap adjustment has literally changed this patient's life, and we're going to do a testimony video on that. So stay tuned for that real soon. I don't do those very often because sometimes they look a little cheesy, but when you have the results that this patient got, we needed to set aside and take the time to film that video. So stay tuned for that. So bottom line, Y-Strap, legit or scam? And I will have to say it is legit. I am super thrilled. I am super happy with the results that we've gotten so far with the Y-Strap. Now, I've not used it on a ton of patients. I've not used it on every patient. There are certain patients that I won't use this on. So far, every patient that we have done the Y-Strap adjustment on has absolutely loved it, and I couldn't have been more happy and honestly more surprised with the results that we've gotten so far. So anyway, guys, I hope that answers your question. Is it legit or not? It is definitely legit when used properly and when used safely. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for that testimony video. I will link it to this one after it's published. But in the meantime, check out these videos, and we will see you next time.